Now, if you're interested in learning how a proper way of going about scalping the Nasdaq futures, okay, here's a beginner's course for someone that may just have, let's say, $1,000 to start with. All right, I'm going to show you how in just basically 30 days to 60 days to 90 days, how you can quickly grow that account. All right, from say $1,000 on the first month. At the end of 30 days, you'd be up $3,000, and then at the end of say 60 days, you'd be up, several $1,000s, to where anyone starting off trading the micros can now kind of transfer or move over or transition to the E-minis full on if you choose to. Now, nothing wrong with trading the micros, or maybe you're bumping up your contract size, or whatever the case is, but you trade what works for you, and what's comfortable for you. I'm going to show you a simple technique. We're going to use today's price action, today's session here, which is what is today's date? March the 24th. Okay. Now, if you look at the higher base chart, I always tell people start with the higher base or time frame chart to get a idea of which way to take your trades. Today only, you should be really only been looking to take trades going long because the market is bullish. We're continuously making these higher highs and higher lows to the upside. I'm a supply and demand style trader, so what I look for is pullbacks to key areas. In this case here, aggressive areas of buying, which is demand. If the market was in reverse of making lower lows and lower highs to the downside, then I want to be looking for supply areas, aggressive selling, as long as we're breaking structure lower, okay? So if you got $1,000 and you are wanting to learn how to, watch your money grow, please watch the video from beginning to end, all right? Now, let's just start off with some simple math right quick. All right, I'm going to pull up a calculator right quick. And let's say, okay, $1,000. How much should you be risking with, that size or small account, right? Like that, right? I would say 5 to 6%. So somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 to $60 risking that amount. Trade the micros to start with now. I'm not talking about the E-minis, but trade the micros. You can do it. Because as long as you're looking to, say, make a 1 and 2, say, for example, risking one with a reward of, 2, okay? So let's just say I'm looking to risk $50, but I want my reward to be anywhere between maybe $80 to $100 to $120. We'll stick with around at that magic number, I'll say $100, because that's double the amount of 50, right? You can definitely do so. So if you just take a look, $1,000 times 5%, I'm sorry, guys. All right, times 5%, you should know that is basically $50, right? So that's what you're going to be risking in a trade setup, right? So if you were to go about, and I tell people this all the time, going in and trying to make, say, 20 points off the Nasdaq, and that's fairly easy to do, whether you're picking it up on 10 points on one trade and 10 points on a second trade, or all in at 20 points on one trade. So 20 points is going to give you times 4, which is 4 ticks in every point. It's going to give you 80 ticks, right? And the tick value on the Nasdaq micros is going to be 50 cents a tick. That's going to give you $40, okay? All right, on one contract. You do that times 2 contracts, that's $80. You do that times 3, that's $120, okay? So again, you're only looking to risk maybe 5 to 6% of your account, okay? So let's say you're doing 6% of your account, all right? 6% of $1,000, you should know that 6% is $60, right? Okay, so if we're looking to trade, let's say make $100, which is 1 to 2, okay, risk reward of 1 to 2, right? So we want to risk $60 to make 120, right? You can do that. So let's say you go in for 20 points, right? Times 4, 80 ticks, right? Times 0.5. All right, that's $40 times trade 3 contracts, right? So now you have a risk of only $60, but a reward of making 120. If you do that 5 days a week, what's that going to give you? That's going to give you $600 a week, okay? Just say hypothetically times 4, that's $2,400. Now you started off with $1,000 and you've grown that account to $2,400 plus the $1,000. So you're up now what? $3,400, right? All right, so now we're at $3,400. All right, if we do the same on the following month, I'm going to show you how quickly this compounds. So, all right, let's say we got $3,400 now. Okay, let's just say we want to risk 6%, right? 5 to 6%. Okay, all right, that's $204 now that I can actually risk. All right, actually risk. So again, we'll be looking to risk maybe $200 to make $400, right? With a $3,400 size account. All right. Again, that's basically like, say, 6%, or you can, scale it down to 5%. So, again, we got 20 points. We're going for aim for times 4 ticks in a point, which is 80 ticks, right? Times the tick value, which is 50 cents a tick. That's $40 a contract. Let's say we want to go at 10 contracts. That's going to give us the $400 mark, right? That's with a $3,400 account. Okay, you could do that. Now, if we do this each and every day, making $400, just say times 4, times 5. All right, that's $2,000 a week. Times 4, that's going to give you that $8,000, right, on the second month. Now, again, we started originally with $1,000 the first month. The first month, we profited $2,400, okay, which at the end of the first month gave us a total, all right, of $3,400 now in our account. Now we have grown that account. Come, say, for example, on the second month, we have made $8,000 plus what we profited on the first month. So now we're up $10,400 plus the $1,000 original that we put into the account to start with, right? So really that's $11,400. I'm just here to show you quickly how fast you can compound and accrue an account. Now, of course, yes, you may have some small losses in between here and there, but that's the beauty about trading the micros. As a beginner trader, you can quickly build up an account, okay? Trading the micro Nasdaq future, if you know how to trade the correct way. Again, I talk about in previous videos, because you may be asking like, well, how do you do that, okay? You've got to understand market structure and which way to really trade. Again, you see on the second month, with growing the account from $1,000 on the first month to $3,400, right? We can now ramp up the number of contracts we want to trade with the micros, okay? Keep it in mind, with a minimum, with a 5 to 6% risk, okay? Meaning stop, all right? How we can take on the second month, risk $200 to make $400 on the day, okay? And I'm not saying each and every day it's going to, you're going to say, well, a lot of people are out there probably saying, well, what about losses? You have to factor that in. Yeah, you do. So, what we're looking at here is if someone, you know how to trade the correct way, that can actually scalp each and every day, because my goal is to be green on the day, all right? It really is. And you're only going to be able to do this, again, by taking 1 to 2 high probability setups that are going to put you in favor of making this $400 a day, okay? So let's just say at worst case scenario, it wasn't $8,000 on the second month. Let's say you made $5,000, knock off $3,000 in losses, okay? But you still profited, or you had a gross profit of $5,000 into the second month, right? All right, so $5,000 plus what you made the first month, which is $2,400. Now you're up $7,400 plus the $1,000 originally you put in. So now you have $8,400 in that account. It's still, okay? Just factor some losses in if you want to, okay? I'm just telling you, showing you right now how you can go about doing this. It is definitely possible to do it with $1,000, trade the micros, and each and every month, okay, as you profit and, more, maybe you can say, okay, your risk to reward, meaning it's going to stay the same, all right? You're going to risk 5 to 6%, okay? So if it's $200 risk, $400 profit, okay, on a daily basis, all right? If it's $400 risk, then $800 on the day, okay? I'm just showing you now. You don't have to go and start bumping it up. You can keep things and scale it the same way going forward. I'm just here to show you that it is definitely possible to grow a small account, trade the micros. Now, how do you do that, okay? Get the market direction correct first and foremost. If we are bullish to the upside, okay, continuously, as you can see, this is on my higher base chart, my 120, you can see all we've been doing is making higher highs and higher lows. So I'm only interested in looking for pullbacks to go long. Today, there was a few opportunities, nice setups on the 24 range chart. I'll show you this here in a minute. Now, the way I like to trade primarily is marking up a higher base zone. So I like to use multi-chart confluence to where if the market, and I want to see a breaker structure. As long as we're breaking structure to the upside, I want to mark my highest base chart first at a demand area, okay? So for example, earlier today, there was a beautiful demand setup right here on the 60 range, right? And the magenta box is a demand area on the 60 range, and then on the Nasdaq, and then the yellow box is a 24 range demand zone. It never came back to that area, okay? But if you look here on the highest base chart, my 120, you can see here around about 10, 12, 10, 15, there was a demand area, Okay, really not a break of structure, but there was a demand area here, aggressive buying to the upside. It pulled back to this high probability demand area here around about 1012, 1015. If we go down to the 60 range chart, is right here. Now this here is a demand area too on the 60 range chart. Okay, so we got a demand area on the 120 range chart. We got a demand area on the 60 range chart, and if I move down to my lowest base chart here, we'll go down to the right here, the 24 range. There was a beautiful demand area right here on the 24 range chart, right there. So we got multiple chart confluence, 120 demand, 60 range demand, and a high probability demand zone where it broke structure on the 24 range chart. Go long, okay? And as you can see, with all the confluence of having three charts where there is a demand zones at, right? Look what happened. From there, the market comes down this area and it breaks to the upside and takes out that area of structure. You can see it here on the 60. Where's it at? Right here. Broke structure here. You can see it on the 24. This was the trade to take right here. Would it reject this area to go long, and it broke structure way up here. Okay. So again, after that, I was waiting for this pull back to this key area here. We didn't get that opportunity. Now, if we move forward, the market really started kicking on some beautiful, beautiful areas of 24 range chart. Okay. Demand zones where there were breaker structures. A high here, pull back, broke higher, broke these highs here, meaning we broke structure. Beautiful pullback to this key area of demand right there. Take it going long, right? Okay. And then what does it do? It pushes back up, took out another high, breaking structure above 20,359 or 360 area. Comes back, demand zone resting right here. You got actually two of them, one here, and it reacts off both of them. Okay. Reacts off of this one here, take it to the upside. Okay. All right. Comes back, fills this area here. This second area of demand rested down here at the bottom. You could have taken that one there to go long, boom. To do what? To fill the gaps going back to the upside, back up to this area of supply right here. There's a supply zone. When the market got there, you can see it kind of went sideways right there before pushing higher right there. Then the market continued pushing higher, breaking above this area structure here. So what do you have? Aggressive buying, a new high taken out. We broke structure on the 24 range, pulls back, key area of demand right here. Take it, go long. Okay, so there were multiple setups specifically and directly off of the 24 range chart that you could have taken. One beautiful area of demand here, another one here, another one here, another one here. 4 back-to-back setups today on the 24 range specifically and directly off of, okay? So I just wanted to show you that it is definitely possible, by long as you're following structure, taking setups within the direction of the higher base chart. If we are bullish to the upside, look down. You can scale down even to lower base charts to look for high probability setups on a lower base chart to take trades going long, okay, at key areas of demand. Now, if we're breaking structure back down to the downside, which we really haven't started doing so, we do got this push to the downside, some aggressive selling here to the downside. If we move down to the 60 now, let me see here what we got going on here. We do see some not opportunity, but see where it's making these lower lows and lower highs to the downside. But really, we're still bullish overall and looking at the higher base chart at this point. But again, if you've got $1,000 to start with in your account and you're interested in trading the Nasdaq futures, again, as a beginner, start with the micros, okay? Because using that 5 to 6% rule where you're risking only 5 to 6%, and again, in the first month, you should only, at say 6%, you should only be looking to, if I'm going for 1 to 2, $60 risk, 120 reward. Doing that each and every day, yeah, 120 is not a lot on a daily basis, but to some people it is, it definitely can be. But especially if you're doing that part-time and you can compound that account to now you profited or made $2,400 the second month. Well, the next month you should be making double the $2,400, somewhere between $5,000 and $8,000, and doing that each month going forward. All right. Again, risking 5 to 6%, okay, to basically making 10 to 12%. Put it like that. Okay. That's what it basically equates down to. All right. But that's all I want to share with you guys today. Hopefully it makes sense and it resonates, especially to all my beginner traders out there who are, starting with a small account. I'm telling you that it's very possible to do so, but do yourself the biggest favor. Don't jump right into the E-minis. Trade the micros starting off with, and then once you build your account up, then you can transition over to the E-minis. Okay. That's all I have for you guys today. Now, I will be breaking the trade that I took today down for our elite channel members. For those that support the channel, there is a private community, okay? There's a private community. To anyone that wants to join, it is very inexpensive. It's only $6.99 a month. You may be asking what you get with that. You get all the trade breakdown videos. These are trades that I post over on the Discord community. The Discord is free. Both links are down in the description portion of the video. The Discord is the first link. The second link is for the elite channel supporters. If you want to become an elite channel supporter, you get all the trade breakdown videos to walk you through setup after setup after setup, trades that I've taken, so you can look for these same similar type setups, you know, when you're back testing and forward testing, or, you know, in demo and simulation, which I highly recommend. Also, you get the video playlist and a great video that I covered on market structure, only for $6.99 a month. You equate that down to on a daily basis, based on, you know, say 30 days or whatever the case is. It's like 24 to 25 cents a day. Okay. All right. For only $6.99 a month, you get a lot of value out of, or at least I think you should, a lot of value out of all the additional video content that is, you know, made available to all those private members. And I want to say thank you for all my elite channel supporters out there that support my efforts as not only a trader, but as a content creator as well. Thank you. And these are the perks and rewards that I give back. Again, you get the trade breakdown videos, the video playlist, and a great video that I covered on market structure. All right. Now, if you're not a current subscriber, what are you waiting for? Please take the time to go ahead and sub by clicking the subscribe button right now. Make sure to turn your post notifications on so you do not miss any of the uploaded content that I post almost on a daily basis. And last but not least, if you found value in today's video, please do me the biggest favor and click that thumbs up button, that like button, before you click off the video right now. Click that like button. Take care, and I'll see everyone in the next video.